Random news.
Sundering news from Dunsinane. Birnam Wood has moved on the castle, and Macbeth has been slain. He has paid for his treason against God, king, and country. The events that have taken place over the last few weeks have shaken the nation, and its echoes will be felt for centuries to come. Macbeth's rise and fall serves as a prime example of the strife for individuals and society caused when ambition, combined with wicked fate, disturbs the natural order. We will see what insights into these forces can be drawn from what was said by individuals involved in this terrible series of events. Our intrepid field reporter, Lewis Dweet, is on the scene.
That's right, Bill. I'm here at Dunsinane, and we have word of Macbeth's lackey, Satan, has just taken into custody. They should be coming out of the castle momentarily. Sir, have you any comments on the late king's alleged insanity before his demise?
The king seemed in a sorry state after he was first crowned. I do recall his words, or full of scorpions is my mind, whilst talking with his wife just before the death of Banquo.
Scorpions. Bill, what do you make of that?
Sounds like Macbeth may have been harbouring some stinging guilt for certain dark deeds preceding his coronation. These first steps into madness being portrayed by his metaphor. This causes one to think about what doing dastardly things can do to one's conscience, emphasizing anyone that would put ambition over honour would pay dearly for it, regardless of time or place.
Thank you for your insight, sir. Thank you, Satan, for your time. I've been told Lady Macbeth's gentlewoman is now being escorted to the courtyard. Ah, here she is. Hello, ma'am. Do you have any insights as to why the Queen ended her life?
Last I saw, she was in a state of sleepwalking, speaking of the smell of blood still, and how all the perfumes of Arabia would not sweeten her little hand.
This sounds as if Lady Macbeth's hands were bloodied. We can infer that from this visceral imagery that the two's actions were so rank that no sweet scent could overpower their lingering guilt.
I also heard this from Macbeth in the courtyard, following his secret meeting with Lady Macbeth after the murder of Duncan. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hands?
Bill, anything interesting in that?
Yes, it reinforces both the couple's guilt and parallels their common anguish. One can learn from all this that dealing with wicked forces and upsetting the order of nature will lead to a fate worse than death. But back to the story soon, as after the ad break, Lewis Dweet finds the man who dealt Macbeth's final reckoning.
The tragedy of Quackbeth. Will his ambition make him king of the pond or leave him begging for crumbs? It's a tale as old as time, with language and imagery that transcend theatre. Buy tickets now for a chance at witnessing history retold. Tickets on sale at quackbeth.com.uk.
Here is the victorious Macduff. Welcome, and our condolences for your family's tragic end.
How art thou?
Great. If you'll allow me, what drove you to liberate Scotland and push Malcolm onward?
Macbeth had no spur to prick the sides of his intent, only vaulting ambition which right did save. He may have once been a good man, had his heart loyal to the crown, but these prophecies drove him on down a darker path, away from honour and what nature intended.
In this metaphor you use, the spur represents a moral motivation?
This indicates he understood the consequences his decisions would have, and that his heinous actions had no righteous justification.
His dark and deep desire led him to his demise.
This demonstrates how spurring honour in favour of ambition leads to little more than strife.
Thank you for your time, Macduff.
We now have our prophecy expert here, Agnes Heckett, on the scene.
Agnes, we have questions requiring your unique insight. What did Macbeth ask of you?
When Macbeth came to us, he was entrapped by the vices of royal ambition. He said, "That rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty." The symbolic and descriptive imagery strengthens the notion that Macbeth was infatuated and blinded by the ambition of forming a noble lineage, challenging the fate he was promised to, implying fate is never sealed.
Thank you for your insight.
This matter of concreteness of fate will continue to be a significant topic of discussion for years to come. But over to Lord Lennox for Scotland's weather report.
The weather has been right treacherous over the last few weeks, aye Bill. Just think of the night old Duncan was killed. I told Macbeth before I knew of his devilish intentions, God forgive, that the night hath been unruly, and as they say, lamentings were heard in the air. At the time, little did I know of the truth of my words. I now surmise this is because nature knew the chain had been disturbed.
Ah, a bit of pathetic fallacy, yes?
What's that? But aye, nature knew. This communicated that the violation of the great chain of being would have serious ramifications, highlighting the fact that Macbeth's action was a dastardly one, not to be repeated by anyone. But back to it. Today the storms are waning, but I have a suspicion this is not the end of our troubles, nay. There's a stray wind speaking of another storm to come.
Wheat has found Fleance. Where are you, Lewis?
Burnham Wood, sir. Fleance, we give you our condolences for your late father Banquo. Do you have any notion as to why Macbeth would have you and your father killed?
Ah, sir. He called me to his thoughts, which foreshadowed Macbeth's treachery. Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, ho. Thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. This indicates me father, seeing Macbeth fulfilling the prophecy, began to think what the witches may bid him make to come true. This could make one think that little Fleance may become king, but 'tis not certain. This highlights that although fate has played a strong part in this sequence of events, the perception of witches at the time was that they were treacherous, while also reflecting the waning belief in fate with the rise of humanism.
I hope you're not speaking of treason.
Definitely not, sir.
Kingdom News.
These events that have ravaged Scotland over the past few weeks have rattled us all. The once honourable Macbeth attempting to follow a doomed fate that spat in the face of the natural order, fell to his ambition, desecrating himself, his house, and his nation. The words said by himself and those around him show us the vicious effects of these most heinous acts, which will be learned from for centuries to come.
Kingdom News on that day.
Up next, King James has been found with twin...